John Oppenheim, and along with Matt Taylor, with whom we're going to talk today, we have co-authored a book called Sales as Serving Others, a handbook for yoga professionals who want to be able to grow their practice and be able to get new clients. And of course, in these days, as we'll talk about, it's a little more difficult and more challenging. So Matt, how you doing?
Doing great, Johnny. I always have fun when we get together.
Yeah, you're in Iowa and I'm in California.
That's right.
Well, I have a question for you, because it's really something that people probably ask, and that is, what's a clinician like you doing co-authoring a book on sales?
Well, I was just minding my business in Iowa when this pesky little salesperson from California roped me into this. No. Yeah, it's interesting to see what we end up doing. 40 years as a clinician, and they don't teach you a thing about selling or capturing a sale. And what I found was, through my career, if I didn't do that, I was going to have very limited opportunity. And so through the years, I had to, for myself, figure out how do you work with someone to get the business transaction to happen. And what I found out was there's some pretty basic human principles, and they go nicely with the yogic lifestyle of being of service to somebody. Find out what they need, help them ease their suffering or ease their challenge, right? And that's what I think we've put together in this book, and it's fun because then to hear it from someone like yourself, who, like you said, were in your business, you were literally kind of the company was betting their life on what you were going to solve for them, right? And so that's what a lot of us have as yoga professionals. They have MS, they have pain, they have anxiety, whatever their life is of a challenging quality. But it's all the same principle, and that's what we've laid out so nicely. So to hear it from the traditional basics of sales, it was like, wow, I'd love to have this 40 years ago. Would have saved me a lot of work. So hopefully that's what we're going to do for others, is, be able to put them in a position, if they will practice the fundamentals, to achieve and get to what they're looking to achieve.
Well, in reality, if you think about it, even teaching a yoga class, as I became a yoga teacher a few years ago, in some ways you're really kind of selling people on following along with you and learning how to do things. And of course, in yoga therapy, it gets even a little more technical, I guess is a word I'd use, but
right.
It's kind of the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
As we say, we're sitting in our places in two different states, and we're not running out to too many shows and things like that. And of course, in the past few months, we've had something that's kind of affected everybody's life. And how's that really impacted sales for yoga professionals?
Oh yeah, this pandemic, right? We're talking today, the end of August of 2020, and it's impacted on almost every level. First there was a scramble for, oh my gosh, I can't have an open studio, so how do I care for my students or my clients that I'm working with? And so there was initially this scramble to get online. And then all of a sudden, what we find, of course, with online is now you're no longer limited to your neighborhood. You can service anybody else that has an online connection anywhere in the world. So now there's this glut of material out there and a glut of opportunity. So it's no longer how far do I want to drive. It's just like, who can I find to deliver this virtual service at this point? And also we ran into, then the yoga teachers have run into, oh, well, I can't come around and wipe their brow and set them up for relaxation. Yeah, and so not only has it made everybody a possible source of yoga, but the yoga teacher, yoga therapist has come up against their own barriers of, well, how can I support people if I'm not there with them? Don't I need to be there with them? And and so we've had to get comfortable with the fact that we can still be effective in this new medium. And now, this many months in, how long is it going to be this way? At first, it was like, oh, I just have to, make it for 6 weeks. Now it's not only do I have to be able to serve the people I want to serve, but how am I going to find new people? And when I find new people, how am I going to convince them that I'm the one that they should? And with so much free material, how am I going to convince them that it's worth paying me to do this? And I think that's those issues all still rely on us being able to make a relationship with the person and practice the skills we outline in our handbook of being a good listener, determining the needs of the person, and then being able to offer back how you're going to be able to support them at a good value. And that's part of what we do in the book, is outline how do you establish value and present it to the person, rather than just, just work with me and we'll be good. No, you don't buy a car that way. You don't buy anything else that way, And so I think that's an important section of the book as well.
Yeah, it's a real good point. In reality, when you're doing things like we're doing, using a computer and a camera, it's not really social media the way that people think of it. This is one-on-one, and if you know how to work yourself through the fundamentals of trying to get somebody to have that trust in you, you can do it. And hopefully that's what the book is about.
Absolutely.
So, in your opinion, what does the book provide that's of use while people are recreating or trying to establish a new business?
Yeah, so the other impact, to play off your other question, is that a lot of people are literally having to either recreate their old business or start a new one. And so the principles of business development, which, you and I've got 40, 50 years of doing such things, and we've done a number of different businesses, is, again, it comes back to identifying problems or challenges people are having, developing a personal relationship to understand that, not presume we know, and then from that understanding, be able to present it in a way that makes sense, that is not slick or over the top. When I had people with chronic pain that had been to all sorts of other clinics that took their insurance and they couldn't get better, and they finally ended up at mine, and I didn't take insurance, I had a challenge of, first, I better understand what the person's looking for. Second, I better offer something that achieves that. And third, if I want them to give me their credit card or come back again, I better be able to convince them that working together, we were going to help solve their problem. And sure enough, that those are the fundamentals, and that's that process we take the reader through in the little handbook that doesn't look like much, but again, if we just get down to that relationship, and that's what yoga is, right? Connect with the other person, and see if we can ease their suffering. And then in doing that, we end up easing our own suffering, because now we're developing business. So for all of the viewers out there that are struggling with either maintaining their old business or needing to create a new one, you can create everything you want, but if you don't have this bedrock of sales skills, it's just going to be an uphill struggle, and you're not going to have anybody to populate whatever that new business is. So that's what you and I both talked about. Hey, we've got all this experience. We don't buy green bananas anymore. Can we share something? And that's what I think we put in this book, was to share what we've got, right?
Let's say that I've been watching this and I think, oh, that sounds interesting. How can I find out a little bit more about it, or even buy the book?
Sure. Yeah. And that would be at sellingyoga.com. So SELLING yoga.com. And that's on our on my website, and it'll give you the table of contents. It gives you an excerpt from the book. and links you to Blurb. We sell our book through Blurb so that it's nice and easy, and it comes in at a $9.95 plus a little bit of shipping, and you'll have your very own copy.
Oh, great. Thanks for taking time to share this, and we'll see you later.
You bet.